G'day, welcome back to my Fly Corp string challenge. I have played a little bit since we've last seen. I did say I wanted to get to 10 million, but I've reduced it to 5 million because I found I didn't keep getting cities a lot. So I thought, well, I may as well go for a bigger break at a point where I'm going to get a lot of cities. So as we slowly have the map appear, after another update to improve movement, we'll see how that goes. This is what we have. So Saudi Arabia didn't end up getting too much more, but Iraq and Syria are definitely quite well populated. So what we're going to do to start off with this one then is I reckon I'm going to start, because I'm going to be working down here and sort of working out where basically I end up exiting out of here, quite possibly Turkey, we'll see. I'm going to bring in Serbia as my first country on this one. And let's get down here and get some of these guys connected. So, yes. It also means that we can upgrade all of the planes on the Arabian Peninsula as well, because everyone should now be, like, I stopped getting cities, I reckon, about 2 million into my money there, so I can pretty confidently say that there's nothing else coming on the Arabian Peninsula. This guy out here fascinates me though, Hardabo. Let's find out what Hardabo is, shall we? It's Yemen, formerly known as Amrita, is a coastal town in northern Socotra, Yemen, not far from Mount Al-Baji. Is the largest town of the small archipelago with a population of 8,545 as of the 2004 census. So that's not the population of the population of the island, it's the population of the city. So, and Socotra Airport is located about 12 kilometers west of Araba. So that would then mean that it is the, I mean, for how big that island possibly is, 12 kilometers away does feel like it must be. You probably could have picked any island, any city on there, or quite possibly it means that there is no other city and 8,000 is the majority of it. As of 2004, the total population of Socotra is 44,000. So if that's the biggest city, they must be a very sparsely spread on that island. There are 4 islands that do make up Socotra. They do actually end up very close to Somalia. Like, the closest of them, I would say, is about there. It's like a smaller islands there, and then that's the big one. It's red because we're poorly managed. So let's, we won't worry about upgrading the planes yet, just in case I change my mind about a layout, so we'll, those guys in there. Okay, so this is where we've ended up in the middle. And there's nothing here in Iraq. So I think that possibly what we're going to do then is go get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of that. We'll go from Far al-Batin to Dammam. And then what we'll do is we'll have these guys run across the face. Sort of get back. Okay. Now with this route, we've got to remember that Cyprus is part of this. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this on the assumption that we'll get some Iranian cities that are going to be on the Iraqi border. I don't know how that's always a good one, the charity one, because that will give us the I realize I should be reading those updates. Sorry to quickly pivot there, but I realize I should, because one of them is asking if I should spend money to increase the amount of passengers that I have, and that seems pointless for me, because that is just going to be spending money to have more people just jammed onto my line when I can't manage the amount of people I've already got on my line. So how do we get out here? I suppose actually I don't want that connecting to Baghdad. I want that to, yeah, that's the best one, the charity one, because you get your businessmen giving you a huge amount of money. But be careful too, because I'm currently not upgrading these cities, and that'll come back to bite me. Let's no, I'll do it as I go through. I'll click on city and then wait. Got something wrong there. That line has gone to the wrong city. Better. Now this has also left this guy out here stranded. No, because he'll just. Yeah, that's our route. Cool. So we'll go. Yeah, sorry, my thought before. I don't know what the relationship is between Iraq and Iran, and whether they would have heavily border heavy populations on that border, or if they don't like having cities on that border. Similar to, I don't know who would be that, India and Pakistan. I can't imagine there's overly heavy populations on this border. Although in India and Pakistan there could well be as well. Then if we go up, every time I see one of the updates announce that they've done things to improve, I realize that I am already pushing this with it's essentially getting as many cities as possible, that I'm the canary down the well, that if mine isn't functioning properly, I could be alone. Although I definitely see plenty of people complain about the way the game runs for them. Okay, so that's where we've ended up, which means that Turkey is our next movement for this, and I'm actually quite surprised at how fast I got through all my new cities. That was not a repeat of what we had in Africa. But again, I'm not sure what my plan is here in this section. Whether I just connect everyone along to the edges, or if I go and just have this sweep all the way through. Possibly I should actually do a combination of the two. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly bring in Kosovo, because I can't imagine Kosovo is going to have many cities, and we're going to bring in Macedonia. And we will bring in Albania. We'll say goodbye to 1.5 million, like, long drawn out money that I've made there. And then we're going to bring in Turkey. So Turkey's the one that we're actually going to sit on for a while and let gain some cities. We want to see some cities along the coast here to connect to. And if we've got stuff back here, we probably want to connect there, and we are going to do the cardinal sin of connecting Turkey and Greece together. Sorry guys, you're going to have to work out your differences. Okay, so let's get down here to where we've got our peninsula joining in. Let's get these guys upgraded. Sometimes it's deceptive that you see a red one and you go like, oh, that must be low. Actually, because it's been sitting there with 10,000 people, and it's finally we've finally got people moving, that it's... No, it's just a struggling one. Now, these guys here, I don't see any reason to not just sort of assume that they're probably going to need help at some point. So both of these two can have a start with a 300-seater plane. Let's start getting these people moving through the peninsula. Oh, accidentally given him a 500. That's fine. You do notice any cities that I don't upgrade as I'm going along, or planes that I miss, certainly feel free to mention them, and then hopefully I will locate them on my next play. This guy here could possibly be multiple planes, but we'll leave him for now. So these guys are apparently struggling because they've got major jets flying all the way up to till they hit that one line there. So hopefully this will see stuff. I'll give him a 300. See stuff start to move a bit quicker. Alright, so then we move through here. That guy's already upgraded. We go continuing through Egypt. And then we land... Sometimes it's hard to find clear ground that I can actually put something on. Oh, drag my mouse on, rather. Okay, so he's upgraded. He's upgraded. He's not. Neither is that plane. He's currently flying with negative amount of passengers on him. Guy's upgraded. Alright, so let's have a quick look at who we opened up there. That's much closer than what we're looking for. If this doesn't work, and that's sort of the closest Turkish cities, we could also shift this so that from Jordan they sort of go up and out, grab these guys, and then come back. And so we take out these 6 cities here, and instead for Syria they just sort of come around, go up, and then into Turkey. Serbia. Alright, so let's start off with Serbia while we're moving through here. Good jumpily. Where were we up to? I think we were down below those guys. Starting to move better. Republic of Serbia. It is in the crossroads of the Pannonian Plain and the Balkans. I don't think I've ever heard of the Pannonian Plain, so let's learn about that one soon as well. There's land borders with a couple of places, which, I mean, looked at it moments ago and so worked out which ones those are. Claiming a border with Albania, though disputed territory of Kosovo. Serbia with Kosovo has about 8.6 million inhabitants. Capital Belgrade is also its largest city. Overkill there. Just thinking about what we've got here. could do is run this to there. And then have him go to there. And then that come down. This is a very long flight. All we do is we get rid of that. Yes, that. That. I think it's worth it just to make the longest route not as long. Always seems worthwhile. Do that, and we'll sell that guy. It's still long, but not as long as it was. I do wonder how many people will want to fly from Abu Dhabi to Dubai as well, and if I've made that a much longer journey, but I mean it's not that much longer. That shouldn't create like a choke point, like going from Los Angeles to Sao Paulo or something. Well, that's also an island off the coast there. Oh, looks like. Well, let's go back to that there. Tell me about the Pannonian Basin. What were they called? The Pannonian Plain, sorry. More widely used as the same region as the Pannonian Basin. It is the lowlands, the plain that remained when the Pliocene epoch Pannonian Sea dried out. There you go. I wonder if it's something to see or if it's just sort of a sort of geographical fact that it's sort of there. Leaning towards the latter at the moment. Alright, next up we got Istanbul up there. Kosovo. Okay, so on this one, this is declaring Kosovo as its own area. I know that there was a war in Kosovo, but I definitely don't know what current standing is of that conflict. Officially the Republic of Kosovo is partially recognized state in Southeast Europe, lies in the center of the Balkans. Kosovo unilaterally declared its independence from Serbia on the 17th of February 2008 and since gained diplomatic recognition as a sovereign state by 97 member states of the United Nations. The population is 1.8 million, so I guess that without that, Serbia is what, 7 point something million. I was thinking about the way that you'd approach, like, strategies you could do in approaching something like this, and possibly what you could do for, say, all countries mode. Because everything gets more expensive the more things that you unlock. What if you unlock, like, at the point where I had America and anything in Europe, What if you put a like a whole string of long distance lines? So you've got New York to London, New York to Paris, New York to every city in Europe. Every single city in Europe has a direct line to New York. And then you just hold on to that until you've unlocked 2/3 of the map or something where you are now struggling for cash, and you can just sort of like unload all of these things that have just become more and more expensive as the game's gone along, and you can turn big profit on it. I mean, it was something that I sort of was doing at the end of my all countries mode back when I last played that a long time ago. I was wondering if what I should be trying to do was unlock Turkey and Iran. That's just the two next major big countries, and then give them enough time to sort of give us all their cities as well. Because we're almost through all the cities that I did gain here. I am tempted to, once I finish this video, let the game run again to see what happens. One interesting quirk in this game is that, and I've done it several times, so it's not, I don't think it was a once-off glitch. It just seems to happen. If you play this game for an hour, 2 hours, you stop getting notifications of any event happening. If you save, quit, come back in, then you will get notifications again. But if you do it in a single sitting, you will stop getting them. So I thought, all right, well, neat. Well, let's see if we can exploit this. Let's just sort of like let the game get to that point, and then what I'll do is I'll let the game run overnight. And it sort of worked. The game was still going when I came back, but I'd only gained like $800,000 in, I think it was 8 hours. So it felt like that there is a series of things that happen when this game is open for a long period of time. One of them is that it stops giving you randomized events, and then the second one is it reaches a point where it just falls to an absolute like crawl. But all right, so now what we're going to do is we've still got all these guys sitting here. But we can also see that we're now getting our red cities. America is now starting to really find its stride. Some of these places are doing very well. You've already got two. They're on top of each other. So let's sell one of them and then give them a new plane. Firstly, let's upgrade that guy to 500. Funny because it used to be so much easier to let these guys just go for a long time, like really quickly, that they would get to opposite ends. And I realize it's because this is now a level 3 or 4 plane already. They're actually just not moving anyone. Seems to be their problem. See, no one's coming out of that airport. So let's do a quick save, because we've got basically all the airports we want attached at the moment. And then we'll do a load. Just have to check to make sure that was the right date and time. Quite a day to be playing on my plane simulator. Alright, so let's see if this... Hey, we've actually gotten a new city in South America. I don't think I disconnected him. Alright, so let's break up that one. And we'll slot this guy in here. Actually, we'll find out, because if he's only 200, then it means he should be brand new. Yeah, how about that? Been a long while. Oh, did I connect him to the wrong place? Okay, there was some red a little bit lower, but again, this is now going to be tricky to understand because a lot of these places are now only just shifting people that had stopped moving. I mean, this guy, if that's one guy on his own, he can have an assistant. We're all good at the very bottom. This has got this guy, but it's moving stuff north. I mean, I assume that's north then. Yeah, that's heading south, so that's north. We've got this guy struggling a little bit. Well, he can get a little bit bigger. He's going in Los Angeles as well, so it's this one will give him just a small support, and then this guy can have similar small support. This guy here, I assume, is going to be the one struggling on that connection. How are you doing? You've got 2. Again, I think that's a glitch of the game. I think they were saying that occasionally there's a problem, or that there's something that they fixed that was when you were starting out on a save, planes would load sitting on top of each other. Maybe that's what we're seeing there. It doesn't seem like from time to time I do just go like, oh man, what did I do just stacking these guys on top of each other? Which I think is in part why I quite like having my staggered planes like this, just having a fully upgraded one and then 2 of the lower levels, just so that they actually, even if it resets them all starting at the same point, they are then going to stagger just naturally because they're all going different speeds. So we'll continue on. Again, there's 2 guys just on top of each other. It means that one of them's just not carrying anything. And it also means that they're dumping a whole lot more guys at once if they are busy. So he's got more than 1. I don't think he's in too much. I think these guys are doing okay. We'll might upgrade that guy and just the smaller plane. We'll give them just 500s to work with. And again, he's heading north. Give this guy just a 100-seater just to sort of chip it away. And same, he can have a 100-seater as well. Part of this, I think, as well, is just they're finally shifting people along that have just been sitting stationary for a little while there. What do we got on that one? We've got 2 jets. I assume that they're now also sitting on top of each other. They're okay. Is he heading off to Los Angeles? Yeah, we'll give him just a 100-seater to slightly help in that balance. 2 jets on that one. Offset there. You guys also now going to be sitting on top of each other. It's annoying for how much time I guess I spent trying to get these guys to be offset. They are now. So many of these are just on top. I think that actually does make me want to go, alright, well then let's give them a 500 and a 300. Any of these that we notice? But they are slightly slower, but it's more passengers that they can move. Another one. 3 of them. And I mean, with that many, it's just it's going to be a huge amount of passengers that are getting dumped on that next guy that's only got, oh, he's got 2, but there we go. So, good. Alright, let's, yeah, we'll give him 2 300s as well, maybe. It does mean that he's taken a loss on, the amount of guys he's got, but... Alright. So New York again. Is how many he's got? So he help him out a bit. Those sort of drop into much smaller state airports around. Give him a 300-seater too. And that one. Both of those struggling a little bit. Just make sure that they're bigger than 3 Yep, they're both been upgraded to maximum. So they're okay. Just upgrade him and we'll give him... I mean, he's only a very short route, so we'll give him a little bit of support. He's got the 3, and that guy's definitely going to be stacked on top of the other one. So, 300. They're going to offset because they're 2 different speeds. Again, those 2 guys are sitting on top of each other. I want the green guy. Instead, we'll give him a 500-seater. This guy's got all 3 sitting on top of each other. Alright, moving further up. Looking good. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at South America after I've done all of that. How are we looking? Same sort of places. I mean, some of these are really big locations too. A lot of South America as an official end of the line, essentially, because nothing is going to sort of... There's never going to be more demand. Like, it's not going to be central to another continent coming up behind it. That we can try and see if we can sort of smooth it out so it's never screaming at us. That's this guy. Give you just a little bit of help. Moving into Central. This guy's doing great. LA's doing great. I love that after with how many people are heading to LA that it's only a 6,000 person one and it's sitting fine on green. I mean, it looks like it's sitting fine on green because no one's actually... Oh, I was going to say because no one's landing on it, but quite possibly these are just planes completely loaded with, or is it just not showing me anyone at any airport at the moment? Every airport with passengers in it. Thank you. Quite possible that there's planes up here that are just landing, like, full of... I just reckon there's no one in... Very strange. It's like the people are still moving, because you can see that's a red plane. He docks. This guy's coming back yellow. And also that's 2 different planes stacked on top of each other right there as well. We should have seen at least one of those 2 planes is red for the return trip, which means that there are people on the line. We're just not seeing them. But continuing through America, it's looking good. Down here's doing well. Savannah. It's just a small airport, I guess. Moving through this. So that's this side of that looks like. And this guy's got 3 people stacked. Or 2 people stacked, rather. So we'll just wait for them to turn around. And they're also packed, are they? Well, firstly, let's give this guy some support. Oh, he's getting pounded by both sides there. So let's give him a 500-seater. I'm going to sell one of the 2 of them. $500-seater. Now we've got Montreal to struggle. A tiny airport will do that. See if that was all it needed. I'm still amazed that this part here hasn't struggled out. Well, that's about time on this one. So that's 5 more countries we've brought in here, which we haven't started working on. Now, if I remember, we want to sort of work through Europe as well to make sure that that's looking clean and same as Africa. But yeah, otherwise, that's our new collection coming in. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later.